Guys, what's going on? This is a video that's been in the making for a very long time. There was somebody in my live chat. It's been so long ago that I don't even remember who. But I played against, and I also added him in on Discord. His name is Silent Gaze on Discord. I definitely remember that. And I told him that I would feature this deck because he definitely super beat me with it. We decided to PvP against each other, and there was a big part of me that's like, oh, I'm totally gonna win this because I think he had less crit than me. He was using Sharpened Spear with Floral Frenzy. It looked absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely amazing. The reason why I didn't do a video with it was I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how it worked or why it was better, and now that I finally have realized how it works and why it's better, and I did this game, which comes with a lot of caveats. So one is, I do have 46-35 crit. It's going to be this Inquisitor game. I played against the #1 Toxic Sea Dog deck, and I did incredibly terribly. It makes it look like I don't even know how to play the deck, but in all honesty, I'm just getting bombarded with like Sea Dog bombs and Necromancer and Shaman, and that's why the deck is #1 right now. But I played against this. He has no interaction with me. I have basically no interaction with him. I think I have a Pocket Curse. He has a counter spell, but I'm saying he doesn't have Pocket Curse. He doesn't have Witch, you know, he's not doing anything to affect my board. This is literally just damage versus damage. He has 44-24 crit, running all the regular things, Inquisitor, Knight of Darkness, Shield of Faith, Ronin. Oh my god. Do I have to like, oh, okay, no. I hit it like too many times or something. Okay, here we go. Now I have to refine this. This is what happens when I decide to do a long video. Knight Statue, Sharpened Spear, Barrier, Stone Legion. The reason why you can't run Awakening, the reason why you can't run Hold the Line is because since you're only running Dark Inquisitor, you only have the one, so you're basically forced to run Stone Legion. At which point your maximum bonus, unless you build multiple statues, which is, I don't know if it's silly, but unless you build like 3 Knight statues, because in addition to attack speed, Knight Statue increases crit damage by 1% for each merge rank of statues on the battlefield. That makes me wonder, because at that point, you could just endlessly build Knight statues as long as you had the one that was active, that was actually affecting your Inquisitor. But I guess if you got puppeteered and it like went off center and then you had like a bunch of awkward level 7s, that would be pretty bad. I don't know. I don't know why that just occurred to me right now. Trapper, that's maxed. Chemist, that's maxed. Scrapper, all the regular things. Oh, he was actually using Labor Enthusiast. I feel like he could have gone much further if he was using Acrid Waste. But the idea that you want to use Labor Enthusiast is for the late game, obviously. Once it starts going into the super late game, and you'll see a couple of them, when you merge 2 Scrappers and you send them the Sticky Slime, it has 500% of a regular monster's health, and that starts to really compile once you go later into the game. And because it's a Dark Inquisitor deck, when you have the ability to like just stack all of your Scrappers up on the field, you could really screw somebody over with a late game boss if you saw them struggling. It kind of works like how a Royal Trials Alchemist deck would work. But I'm using all of the regular talents, Floral Frenzy, Fencing, Serrated, but I'm using Sharpened Spear. Sharpened Spear, Barrier, Stone Legion, because you are running, two sharpened Knight statues. Max Chemist, I only have 11, a Trapper, and then I'm running the, 13 Mermaid, with this. So, the reason why this deck works so well, is it is able to use, and the other caveat is this is a tournament, so obviously all of the corner tiles are going to be speed tiles. I can't remember did they give you a percentage? They have increased attack speed, but I don't know what the actual percentage is. There was a part of me that wanted to say that they're basically J tiles, but that's 40%, and I don't think that they're 40%. What would be insane is if, and I can't remember offhand if he actually got one, but if he got like a J tile, a growth tile, and a speed tile, is that what he has? Because that would be, I actually don't remember. But that, his deck is literally designed for this mode. Being able to run a growth tile, a J tile, and a speed tile. If that changes and then it becomes another speed tile, I think he does it in this right-hand corner, next to the where the chemist is. I'm pretty sure that's where he sets up. But even a speed tile and a growth tile would be pretty good. The reason why this version of a Blade Dancer deck works so well, it does the 3-2-3 setup. And if you're running Covenant of Veteran, and you do the 3-2-3 setup, where it's 3 on the top, 2 in the middle, 3 on the bottom, as opposed to the double T setup, you're getting 1 extra Blade Dancer, but 2 Blade Dancers are not being affected by a Knight statue. Also, with that setup, if you're doing Covenant of Veteran, you don't have the ability to... Not only are 2 not affected, but you also don't really have the ability to do double Knight statue stacks. And I feel like the biggest benefit of doing Covenant of Veteran is being able to do infinite double Knight statue stacks. But when you're doing double infinite Knight statue stacks, then you're only running 6 Blade Dancers on the double T setup. So then you're running even less Blade Dancers. And so you have to find this. I feel like this is the balance of both power as well as stacking Knight statue stacks. In case you were wondering, the difference between Covenant of Veteran stacks and Sharpened Spear stacks, they're the same. The amount of stacks that you could get potentially on a Sharpened Spear, which is obviously much easier if you're doing the double T setup with the infinite Knight statue stacks, you can do so many stacks. You can stack Knight statue so many times. But the problem with that is you're only running 6 Blade Dancers. With this setup, doing a 3-2-3 setup with 2 in the corners. So the 2 Knight statue stacks that I have in these 2, if you're thinking about it in Zealot terms, the square center, and it's on the 2 corners, those could be the other 2 corners, it doesn't matter, it's just that it's these 2 corners. And then where you place the chemist, because you obviously only need the 1 chemist, you can place them in any of the center squares. So where the left scrapper is right now, where the right chemist is right now, and then that middle scrapper, you can place your trappers and your chemists anywhere in those. I think that the best idea is to have 2 trappers, but my problem with having 2 trappers is that when you get to the late game and you start using Recycler, you start to run out of space, and you'll see it as this game progresses. But that was just for me to allow you to understand how this setup works. The reason why you're doing double corners for the Sharpened Spears is because where the Recycler is right now and where the level 2 is, that's where you're going to be bouncing once you start getting into the late game. And by bouncing, I mean basically every single spot that are not those spots should be taken up by something, whether it be a Blade Dancer, a Chemist, or a Trapper. And essentially what you're doing is whenever you summon in a Knight statue, both Knight statues are getting stacks. And then you're just eating it, and then bouncing to the other one, and then eating it, and then bouncing to the other one. And where it starts to complicate is essentially when you get too many scrappers as summon-ins, which you'll see as well. This is also a video to showcase the idea that I hate when I see people running Floral Frenzy and they're running Portal Keeper. The idea of running Portal Keeper is a insignificant thing to do anymore. The idea of even simplifying that to run Harlequin so that you can place things is insignificant anymore. You should be running double supports, Knight Statue, Scrapper, and a DPS. That is the actual thing that you should be doing, because even though, yes, it is more difficult because you just have to summon in more, if you have the crit power and if you have the max DPS card, you should be able to survive for a while. This setup is insane. The amount of things that I need into place, that need to just, like, when I summon in, it slots itself into place. The amount of things that I specifically need in specific places is insane. And Scrapper allows you to do all of it. It allows you, you have the time, you have the ability, you should be able to do this. This is essentially his setup. He's basically done. I guess he is building 3 knight statues, which is smart, because each knight statue's levels are giving him plus 1%. So right now he's at 13%. 13% on his crit damage off of the Stone Legion. I'm at 8. At max, I'm going to be at like 14, assuming that both are level 7s. I don't even know if both get to level 7s. But yeah, that's why this works. With the double knight statue setups in these 2 spots, you're essentially covering your entire board of Blade Dancers. You've covered every intersection. You're allowing yourself to have the maximum amount of Blade Dancers on the field to get the maximum amount of bonus. You're even being able to double Knight Statue stack, because right now I have completely set up, all I need to do is summon in, and then eat, and summon in, and eat, and that's basically what I do for the rest of this game. That's pretty much it. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will stop talking because this is a very long game, and I don't feel like I need to explain a large quantity of things anymore. I do use a lot of shield spells. I have so many that I just didn't care. There's a bunch of like double tribunals in my future when it starts going into triple bosses, and I just didn't want to get tribunaled. And then I did forget that he was running a Dark Inquisitor deck, because I do have a Petrify Stone, and when I finally decide to use the Petrify Stone, he has a level 7 Knight Statue, and it ends up hitting that instead, and it's dumb. And that's something that, you know, you go too late in the game, and that's what has the ability to happen. I wasn't even paying attention to whether or not, if his Inquisitor ever got Red Guide, because that's all it would take. All it would take is for his Inquisitor to get Red Guide 1 time, lose the shield, you use Petrify, and he's basically dead. He can't deal enough damage with everything else. I feel like a Trapper on a speed tile might save him for a little bit, but it never happens. It never comes into play. But if you are playing against Dark Inquisitor and you have Petrify, remember to use it, because I definitely didn't. Yeah, so I just wanted to make this video. One, this is the most damage I've dealt in a very long time, especially with the new updates. But 2, something to try. The only problem with this setup is that it has to be this setup. This is the exact setup. You have to do the double knight statues on the 2 corners, so that you can bounce on the 2 other corners. And it just starts to get a little hairy once it starts going into you only have 3 spaces, because when you start summoning in too many scrappers, it takes a while to get rid of them. But yeah, I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. You know, I did just want to pop in to say that I feel like he could have done better. I'm obviously not watching my own gameplay because I already know how well I did. I feel like he could have done better because the only thing that he needs right now are Inquisitor stacks. And I feel like he has this weird strategy of immediately eating everything that comes out because he's basically done his entire setup. And I feel like if you had a level 2, if you had a level 1, level 2 Scrapper, which you can easily get because he has the combined talent, what is it called? He has the promotion by merit talent. I feel like you could easily leave on the field just a bunch of different things, merge them up to level 2s, and then if they don't become an Inquisitor, eat them, and then move on. But because he's instantly eating everything, he's not able to really build any Inquisitor stacks because he's just he's not giving himself an opportunity to have multiple things or multiple chances to get Inquisitors to build those stacks. He's naturally gonna get Knight Statue stacks just by summoning in, but if he left more things on the field and combined them, I think he would have a better chance of getting Inquisitor stacks, and that might be the reason why he's at 21. See, like right here, he could combine the 2 Trappers, and hopefully get a Inquisitor, and then if it's not an Inquisitor, he can just eat it, or like all of this. He could just combine all of that, because he doesn't care about any of it, and then if it becomes a level 2, like a level 2 Trapper, he can eat that, and then keep going. Because that's all he really needs right now. And I think him hampering his ability, or him limiting his ability to get Dark Inquisitors, or Inquisitors in general, by the luck of summoning them in, is why he's not going to do as much damage as I think he could. He doesn't need more damage, like, this dude's doing like 30 billion damage, but I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, it's something to think about. Like, once you have your entire setup of, like, triple Knight Statue, you know, they're all level 7s, you have a level 7 Dark Inquisitor, right here I could have, potentially, have petrified him. I just didn't think about it until, like, way late in the game. But that's the reason why he's not going to do more damage. That if you have a mechanic that has the ability to grow over the course of the game, you have to do everything in your power to make that grow. His Knight Statue is... Oh no, his Knight Statue is online. To be this late in the game and only have 21 Dark Inquisitor stacks, I just had to wonder why. And I feel like he could have done a little bit better had he done that. Oh, there we go. That's when I decided to petrify, apparently. That was definitely not the thing that killed him. But yeah, it's pretty good. The only restriction is you have to build it exactly like this. I'm glad that I remembered to get that screenshot. I didn't want to replay this just to get to that last moment. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next video.